Not even death can save you from me.
What's going on, everybody? In this video I'm going to be showing off my summoner build to help you through level 1 through 50 and get you to Nightmare. We're going to refund all right now just so I can show you my progression. Starting out with your first couple points, I have 58 because I got all my renowned to get my extra points. So I'll have a few more extra points, but that's okay for right now. Starting out, you're going to want to get your Decompose and get it into the minion slot. Your minions do 10% increased damage while you're channeling. Once you come down, in the earlier stages, probably level 1 new, 20, 25, I was using Blight. You use Blight, and then you also go into the minion tab. Your minions deal 15% increased damage to enemies within Blight. So you have two multipliers for your summon damage. Once you come down here, that's when you want to get into your skeletal warriors. And also, I like to take Grim Harvest and Fueled by Death. Eventually, we're going to max out both of these passives here because we're going to be using our skeletal warriors to summon corpses. Skeletal Mastery is the next thing you want to get. Then we're going to come up here. Now that we have to use 2 more skills, that's when we're going to get into Corpse Explosion. I use Corpse Explosion because we can turn it actually into darkness, and later on towards level 50 we're going to be using that darkness damage as a multiplier. I prefer to use the passive, where is it? Death's Embrace. So when you need extra points to go to the next tier, especially when you're on this node, I'm not using any of my curses. So what I like to do is go in here into Death's Embrace. You max this one out, you get 6% more damage to close enemies, that's enemies within melee range of you, and then 9% less damage when they're within melee range to you. So more damage and damage reduction at the same time. So it's really good passive to have. Once we get into here, I like Necrotic Car Space. Your character's always going to be fortified because your minions are going to be constantly generating corpses. Now in here, you have the Reaper's Pursuit. I put 1 in there. Also, 1 in Gloom. I wasn't big on maxing these out, but at least having 1 point each. Now once you're down here, I like using the golems, so I will max out my golem mastery. And then once you get later into towards level 50, skeletons don't seem to live as well, so you're gonna want to max out all of these. This being, I would only put 1 point in because the healing's enough with 1 point. As you're getting more towards your later difficulties, towards your next capstone, that's when you're gonna want to max this out because the healing is very, very useful. Now once we get down to our passive, you go to Shadow Blight, and this is where all of our darkness really comes into effect, and then we're going to get the key passive. We get the extra 637 shadow damage, and also you and your minions get 10% bonus damage for each enemy with Shadow Blight. You're going to be seeing the entire screen is going to have darkness and Shadow Blight damage on them, so we're going to take that. Once you get your passive, I suggest going in and using the Blighted Corpse Explosion. This makes Corpse Explosion become a darkness skill. Instead of exploding, it releases a vile miasma. What the fuck is that? Dealing 3,186 damage of shadow over 6 seconds. So you're going to be doing extra shadow damage. And it's a big ring. It covers the entire map. Once you have Corpse Explosion doing darkness damage, that's when I usually take off Blight, and I'll put it onto Hued flesh, so you're another chance to cause corpses. And then you can get rid of blight altogether because you're going to be using your corpse explosion. So once you max out all of your passives, then you want to go into your shadow bonus damage here. I don't like the movement speed, and the stun duration is really not needed. With your extra point, that's when I'll go into Decrepify for the extra damage reduction and the slow. Really nice. This is the one I go with. Lucky hit, 15% chance to reduce your active cooldowns by 1 second. This is really helpful. You just always have your abilities up. With your extra points, you can go in and just throw it on Corpse Explosion. That's just going to amplify the damage even more. As for your Skeletal Warriors, you want the Reaper with 15% chance to carve flesh off enemies. They form a corpse, so you'll see all the time I'm just constantly just throwing corpses. There's corpses everywhere. The mages you're going to want to use for this build are the Shadow Mages. And honestly, it's up to you. I prefer Shadow Mages that have a 10% chance to stun, because with this ability, you get bonus damage to enemies who are stunned. As for Golem, you're gonna wanna go with each time your Bone Golem takes 20% of its max life as damage, it sheds a corpse. Another way of getting corpses. You'll notice when you're actually going in there, there'll just be so many corpses on the ground. You just mash corpse explode, and then there's just shadow damage everywhere, applying your shadow blight. Like I said, I did this I think 2 or 3 levels lower than the 50 required for the Nightmare Capstone, and this was a breeze through it. So it's got a buff. Skeletal Mages and Skeletal Warriors just got a buff yesterday, so this build should be doing even more damage. All the video you're going to be seeing is from pre-buff, so it's only getting stronger. I hope this video helps you. If it did, help me by giving me a like, and think about subscribing. I'll be putting out every 4 days more Diablo content. Finally, we beat the Cathedral Light.